Hello, today I will be showing you how I used methods and parameters to create a drawing I called Bob's Home in Dr. Java. I started by typing this code here, which created me this world window that is a 640 by 480 pixel window. And I assigned it the object reference of W, and I wanted the default, so I put nothing in the parameters list inside these parentheses. And I wanted to make a turtle in my world so that I could make this drawing because he's the guy who holds the pen. So I made a turtle object inside my world object, and I assigned him the name Bob. So my object reference for the turtle will be Bob. And normally when you start one of these drawings, you start off at 320 to 40, which is the center of the world. And I wanted him to start making these mountains right away because I'm so busy. And so I put him at 0 on the x-axis and 75 on the y-axis. And I put him in W, which is what we assigned my world object. And so that gave me a turtle named Bob. I began to draw Bob's home, and I wanted to set up my colors first, so I gave my colors C, D, and E as their object references, and I made new colors using these parameters. And for my gray color, I used 98 red, 98 green, 98 blue, and for my blue, I used 0 red, 0 green, and 255 blue, which is the max number for any of these. And for my green color, I used 5 red, 170 green, and 85 for blue. And this gave me the green color used on my trees. I gave Bob his rightful name of Bob by using the object reference Bob, period, method name, set name, and then the parameters list, I gave him Bob in quotations. I then changed the color of Bob's pen by using object reference Bob, method name, set color, and then calling for my C color, which you saw here. I changed my pen width by 6 pixels using object reference Bob, period, method name, set pen width. And that changed it to a thicker line than you normally see when you start drawing these. I then began drawing my gray mountain range you can see here by using some pretty simple methods, object reference, period, turn, and then giving an angle. So for angles, 0 is here, and then 45, 90, 180, 270, and you're back at 360. And that clockwise will be positive numbers, and negative numbers will be going to your left. You can move Bob forward by object reference Bob, period, method name forward, and then in your parameters list inside the parentheses, you call out how many pixels you want him to move. You can also make him move backwards by using the method name backward, and then in your parameters list, calling out how many pixels you want him to move. And another method name is object reference period, pin up, and this makes Bob pick up his pen so that I could move from my gray mountains over here to my pond or my trees without leaving lines there. And that'll pick up Bob's pen. And sometimes when I'm drawing, I left this in so that you could see. I use this to tell me where I am, and I'll leave these here. Like if I finished drawing this line and I wanted to go back and make this mountain, instead of moving him all the way back here and figuring it out, I just moved him back here. And I needed this reference to move him that way. And then I could use this move to command or method and tell him where to go. What's next? I drew my pond and I changed my color to D, which I referenced earlier as being my blue color here. And I went about using some of the same methods to move that. And again, I used this and it will show me down here in my interactions pane what Bob's location is. X-axis 639, Y-axis 157, and he's heading 132, which helps me orient Bob and move him around my world object. I drew my pond using similar commands. And then I changed the color to my E color to draw my trees. And I used a method that I put in the Turtle Java file. And you can see that I created a method called drawTree. And to see that, you have to go to the Turtle Java. And you scroll down and you'll see this and it says methods, and that's where you're going to put your methods. So I started my method here, and I made a method for my share your name, and I did it really wrong, and I believe this time I did it correctly. So this first word, public, is talking about your visibility, which is what class you want using this method. And I don't care, so I put public, so that means anybody. And void refers to what type of information I want produced or what kind of result I'm looking for from this method, and I don't care, so I put void. You could also use characters or boolean or integer or double here, and that would change it. And then I named this method drawTree, so I came up with drawTree. And then these parentheses here are in case if you were making your other code and you needed to add parameters, you would put these parentheses for the future in your code, if that makes sense. And then inside this bracket, you put your block, which is your list of parameters, which is just methods again. And that allows me to draw the same tree over and over again by just writing drawTree. I wrote the code once here and I put this instead of Bob because I want anybody to use it. And this is how I made the method in my Turtle Java file. If you have any questions, let me know. Obviously, probably better to ask Professor, but if you have questions about this video, let me know. And if you have any comments or suggestions to help me improve or corrections, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching.